This is Tyler Lewis here with Phenon Hoops. We're honored today to have one of the best coaches in North Carolina, Coach Hatchett. Thanks for joining us today.
Appreciate having me. Appreciate you having me, Ty. Glad to be here, brother.
No problem, Coach Hatchett. I know you've been at Northside since 2016, and you coached at multiple levels, Johnson C. Smith, where you also played, coached at the Cannon School, Word of God, and you coached some other places as well. How have those experiences helped you become the coach you are today?
I think all of them play different parts. I started my coaching career actually with my college teammate, Buck Joyner, who's the head coach at Hampton. We started together with the Charlotte Stars, who is now Team United, AAU. Then from there, I went on to middle school. Middle school, went back to college where I played, like you said. Then I tried my hand in high school ball and got the bug after high school, went back to college, and then had a chance to do semi-pro for 3 years. So to answer your question, all of those opportunities, all of those experiences kind of molded me to where I am now. It was a good experience on all levels. Middle school gave me patience. The women's side of basketball taught me a whole different thing about the game that didn't pertain to basketball. The college level, for a fact, Ty, it's a grind. It's more about relationships and getting out there and just hustling and bustling. So I've been able to take a little bit of all those experiences and kind of ball them up, and they've all helped in some aspect of my coaching career.
That's awesome, man. I know you learned, like you said, so much from each different opportunity you were in. You mentioned playing at Johnson C. Smith, and you can see your jersey in the background a little bit. I like it.
Yeah.
How did playing play a role in you becoming such a good head coach?
I think the biggest piece is just understanding the game. Fortunately for me, I played the point guard position.
Coach on the floor.
Yeah, you're a coach on the floor. You're an extension, man. And just understanding the game and knowing all aspects, what everyone's supposed to be, your job, your duty, your responsibility on offense and defense. So from a coaching standpoint, just gives you a better understanding of everything, all positions. Even though I didn't play the center position, I knew what my post guy was supposed to do, where it was supposed to be, and what would be effective and efficient for us on the floor. So you just use those experiences as a player and try to incorporate that as a coach. I think the biggest thing for players that play the game, that coach it, is not trying to have your players do what you did on the floor. I think that's the biggest challenge. Everyone's different. Everyone don't see the game and play the game the same way. So I think just because you play the game doesn't automatically make you a good coach or a coach or ready to coach the game. I think you got to have a better understanding or a really good understanding of the game itself.
No, you're right, because there's definitely a lot of people who didn't play basketball who are outstanding head coaches.
Absolutely. And then there's some that were awesome that won't make a great coach.
You're right. I mean, and I've seen it from both sides of things. When did you first kind of fall in love with the game of basketball?
Man, it had to been watching my older brother play. I got a brother that's 3 years older than me. So when he started at 6, I was 3. When he's 9, I'm 6. I'm still following him, trying to chase the big brother. You know what I mean? And you have one of those.
I know what you mean. I did that my whole life.
So you want to do what he's doing, and you want to do it better. And so I fell in love, man, just watching my brother play and growing up. I'm from Kentucky, so it's a basketball state. And so just being around the game at a young age, but it happened to fall after my older brother.
Yeah, no, those older brothers definitely make a difference. Colby definitely made a big impact in my life and with my basketball game. He's always out there shooting, and he probably had a better work ethic than I did. But I see him out there and kind of just motivates you to become a better person, better player than that. I mean, he definitely helped me so much along my path. So
it's a friendly competition too. Like you want to be better. You're chasing your big brother. I call it the ghost. It's hard to catch up with the older brother, man, sometimes. So, and when you're younger though, that just drives you to work a little bit harder. And I think for us as the youngest, I always call the youngest in charge. I think we have an upper hand only because the older brother doesn't have anyone to chase after.
No, you're right.
As a younger brother, we're fighting to catch that. So our work ethic's a little different.
And like being a younger brother, you're always playing against someone who's bigger, stronger than you. And
Yeah. And
so,
they're friends and they're older friends. So it
yeah,
helps you out. It
it
does.
definitely does. Well, getting back to it, Coach, what is your why? Why do you coach?
I coach for the love of the game, giving back. I had a couple of guys that was influential in my life and what they did for me. And even though it was about basketball, it transformed everything else and how I approached everything else in life as well. And when that impact affected my life in a positive way, I wanted to have that same impact on other kids as well. So that's what got me into coaching, man. One for the love of the game, then try to get opportunity to change kids' lives.
And I know you wear many different hats at Northside right now, and you have the opportunity to impact so many kids, being an athletic director, health teacher, whatever, basketball coach. You're everything over there. So Mr. Do It All at Northside. So you're able to impact so many kids, and I know that's why so many people love you, respect you, and you have such a great name. Um, you've coached so many great teams out there. What are some of the best teams that you have coached?
It'd be two. Talent-wise, hands down, it'd been my Word of God team, 2009, 2010. I'm in Raleigh with CJ Leslie, Desmond Wells, Bishop Daniels, Joel Kendrick. That was a monster team. And probably one of my most fun teams to coach as well, because they were just so talented. But the other one would have to be at Cannon for a couple of reasons. One, I was able to be part of a state championship team, myself and Ron Johnson. And shout out to Ron. Ron has been a heck of a influence and a heck of a friend to me in this business. So shout out to Ron. He's done it every place that he's been. But with Dominic Reed and RJ Dixon, Jarrell Eddy, and then, of course, my little brother, Ryan Harrell, that's probably made that special to win a state championship. And then I have family to do it with family. So Cannon for a personal reason, but the best team for sure is Word of God.
No, can't. I know both those teams. Y'all had a squad. And, obviously, Ryan was
you over to Cannon with me, Ty.
Oh, man. You had me. No, but Coach Johnson does an awesome job too. What he does at Davidson Day is just tremendous. I mean, coming off a state championship last year, and I know they're young this year, but he just does a phenomenal job. Great person.
Yeah,
better person than he is coach, and you know what a great coach he is. So,
absolutely.
I had a chance to go watch his team in an open gym last year, and he was really made an impact in my life right there. Just seeing his team, the way they're so coachable and the way they just love him too.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Those are two great teams. I know a lot of people were probably a little bit scared to play you guys. But the one thing I do love about you is you're not scared to play anybody. We ask you who you want to play, and you're like, hey, I don't care. Whatever makes the schedule easiest for you guys. Yeah. And last weekend, I think that's what I love, and you're not scared to play like the non-association teams, and you come out there and play Liberty Heights last weekend, who has tremendous talent.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think some of your players made a bigger name for themselves than the other players on the opposing team.
So I look at those as opportunities. I'm not playing like tough guy when I say I don't want to, that I'm willing to play anyone, but I do it for the kids, man. Like my kids deserve that platform. I understand the business, the lay of the land of the basketball world. And you got to play those guys, in my opinion. I think you should play those guys. It's not about wins and losses. It's about giving your kids an opportunity to play against those talented guys that's getting the accolades, where your kid could possibly get an opportunity to get some recognition as a name about themselves as well. So it's more so for the kids. It's not about the wins and the losses. It's about putting them on that stage and that platform and give them a chance to compete. When you look at college, Ty, and you get there as a freshman, that college coach doesn't care that you're a freshman. He's going to schedule the best games that he can. Like that's just a business. So they don't care if you're 18 and you're playing against 23-year-olds. It's what it is. So I can care less that my kids may be in the 8th or 9th grade and we're playing against seniors. That's going to be their world in a few years if they want to continue to stay in this game. So I'm just trying to prepare them and get opportunities.
And kids, us, we've been there. you want to play against the best talent anyways. Like, you don't want to play against a team that you're going to blast by 20, 30 points. Like, that may be nice to put on your record. You got to win. But at the end of the day, you want to play against the best. You want to compete against the best. And I think that's what makes – I mean, I know you guys got beat last weekend, but you put your kids in a situation where they're able to succeed in the long haul because they know what they need to improve on now. And a lot of people were at that game. They see kids like Wesley Tubbs who played phenomenal.
Right. Yeah. It's giving them that opportunity. And I feel like, honestly, for the kids' sake, it's a confidence booster for them to even know that they can get out there and compete against those guys that they're just usually seeing either on social media or watching it through the Hoop State Network games, and their team's not playing. They just actually see those guys playing. So to get out there and play and compete against them, that's huge for the kids too. That's good for them. So I want to give them that opportunity.
I love it. What's one of the most magical moments you have had as a head coach?
Seeing a kid get it, like literally. So we talk about kids getting it and the light switch, the switch will click on for them at some point in time. But to actually physically see that light switch click on, that's pretty awesome, man. That's a neat thing to see, and it doesn't happen often. So when you do see it, you saw it. So that's that's probably one of the most prideful things, I guess I could say, or fulfilling things is seeing a kid actually get it. You've been on them for 2-3 years, and they've been going back at you and telling you why they can't. Then all of a sudden in practice, you tell them something, or yet you don't have to tell them, and they just do.
Yep.
Get it. And then you can see it in their eyes like, oh, I got it. Yeah, it took 3 years, but it doesn't matter. I'm just glad the kid got it. I tell my kid the sacrifice is great, but the reward is even greater. So once they make that sacrifice and then they can see the reward that they get at the end, man, it's a good feeling.
The one thing I love about that answer, had your most magical moment, was nothing to do with state championships or anything or wins and losses. About the kids just getting it and understanding. I know how you are. It's all about life lessons and more than basketball lessons. So I wasn't shocked, but I did love the answer. My next question is, obviously we all make mistakes as players and coaches while we're out there. What would be a do-over moment that you would like to have in your coaching career?
Hands down for me, my year at Word of God Christian Academy. Dealing with the media. I felt like I probably could have handled dealing with the media a little better, and having a better understanding of what the media can do for the kids and looking at it in that aspect. I'm not going to go all the way into it, but I think I said some things, and it's out there. It is what it is. But that's part of life. You make mistakes and you're able to deal with them and move on. And I actually don't look at it as a mistake, Ty. I look at it as something that I could have had a little bit more tact with doing and handling. At the time, I was at Word of God, and I had some real high-profile kids, and John Wall had just left. So the school was infested every day with ESPN writers, all of this stuff, which I think is great, until it's not beneficial for the kid. And what I mean by that is, at that time, I didn't feel like our kids had a handle on how to deal with media, nor did I feel like the media had guidelines on doing what's beneficial for a kid. So there was a time after the game, and the media wanted to speak to my guys, and they literally gave me 30 seconds when the game was over to talk to my kids, and they was rushing them out of the locker room. My explanation was, that's part of the issue. Like, my kids are focused about interviews and highlights as opposed to doing what's right for their team. They're ready to get out of the locker room and go talk to you, as opposed to figuring out how we can be better. And I think that at that time, I don't think that was something that was beneficial to my guys. And I felt like the media could have helped my guys become more successful and better men and better people had they held them accountable in other aspects other than just the basketball piece. So just kind of working together with each other. So I know it's long and drawn out, but if I could have handled that one differently, there's something I could have done differently, it was handled that particular situation a little better. I think I was misconstrued by the media and what I was trying to say. And I think the media, years later, I know for a fact, years later, understood what I was saying, but it had to come from someone else for them to get it.
Yeah.
So, and it's cool. It's life lessons, man. It's life lessons. That was 10 years ago.
Hey, we all go through life lessons and learning experience, and you know what? We all do some things that necessarily are not that we regret, but you just gotta build it. Those things make you stronger in life and make you better for the next person.
No question.
In the long haul. You talked about some of the players that you've coached at Cannon, Word of God. Who is not necessarily your best player, but who's some of your favorite players that you've had the opportunity to coach?
So I literally have no reservations on saying like who my favorite guys were because they earned it. So I have three, but that doesn't mean any of the other ones aren't like good players or didn't mean anything to me. But hands down, Desmond Wells. I would coach Dez any day, time, year, whatever.
One of the hardest players I've ever had to play against, say that much.
Listen,
balls to the wall every day.
He's a great person. He holds his teammates accountable. He shows up to practice on time. He does whatever needs to be done. And he's a yes sir, no sir kid. He's a dog on the floor and off the floor. He's just a lovable kid, man. So Desmond Wells, Jaden Seymour, who I just had. And for Seymour, same thing, his work ethic. Just him as a person. And then with this day and age, man, loyalty is huge. And I had Seymour as a 9th grader, and after his freshman year, there wasn't a school in the city who didn't try to get Seymour pulled away from Northside. Well, lo and behold, regardless how good he got, Seymour stayed with me for 4 years, regardless of our record being good, great, bad, or what have you. So that means a lot, especially during, when you got a kid transferring every week, somewhere. If you can keep a high-profile kid for 4 years, that's huge and says a lot about him more so than it says about me as a coach. And then the third person, of course, is Ryan Harrell, my brother-in-law. He was probably one of the most talented guys with a ball in his hand. And you just had fun watching. He was just so fun to watch, man, because you just never knew what was going to happen.
I mean, I watch his highlight videos more than anyone else's. So
it'd be those three.
How special he is.
Yeah, so it'd be those three: Desmond Wells, Jaden Seymour, and Ryan Harrell.
Well, those are three people who, if you put them on the same team, you don't really need the other 2 players out there. So
we'll be okay.
You're right. This year is so unique with COVID and everything. You got to take every day, one day at a time. What are you telling your group this year, your team this year, during these tough times right now?
I try to make it as realistic as possible. And I let them know that each game, no game or practice is promised. And that's our approach. So we appreciate every day we get a chance to practice. We appreciate every day we get a chance to play. For some of these juniors, it could turn into their senior year real quick. And for some of these seniors, their high school career could be over tomorrow based on COVID. So just trying to enjoy the time that we have, work as hard as you possibly can, don't take it for granted. I think that's been a good thing that I've been able to instill in my guys is not taking this game for granted. I think COVID has opened it up to a lot of kids and coaches. So that's what we're doing. We're just trying to stay safe, healthy, and just appreciative of the opportunity that we have to still play.
Yep. And you have you have a really good team this year. Can you kind of give me and tell the people kind of like your roster, your rundown of your roster? Sure.
So my senior, Glenn Hubbard III, I call him G3, really, really good ball player. Tore his ACL last year after our 7th game. He went out averaging 26. He was like 26-7 when he tore his ACL last year as a junior point guard. He's just getting himself back together. It hasn't even been a year yet. It'll be a year in December. He's already back. He's not all the way back, but he's back, if that makes sense.
Right.
He's back well enough to play. He's cleared. There's no restrictions on him. But again, you out for injury like that, it'll take you a little time to get yourself all the way back together. Got a kid in from Finley. His name is Jan Hinderman. Jan is going to be really good. 6'6" kid, shoots the ball real well, have that Euro game. His IQ is just off the charts. So I'm excited to see him this year. Kid has been with me since he was in the 7th grade, Jalen Maddox, about 6'7". He does, he's the kid that does just what the coach asked him to do. He's not going to ask you any questions. He's not going to second guess anything. He's going to play extremely hard, rebound the ball, block shots, and plays his role very well. So he's definitely be an impact this year. Daniel Labamba, Daniel transferred from Hickory Road. Really good kid, athletic. He's only been playing basketball for about 3 or 4 years, so he's still kind of raw to an extent. But the sky's the ceiling for him because he has so much talent, and he's just been playing for a while now. Next kid is Aaron Hall. Aaron transferred in from Rocky River, 6'7", 6'8" kid, 10th grader, who's going to be really good. He's bouncy. He rebounds the ball well. Still trying to learn himself as a ball player and what he's really good at. So I haven't put him in a box just yet. And I'm not going to, but we're still trying to figure out like what his strong suit would be. But right now, rebounding, blocking shots, and finishing at the rim, he's pretty good at. Then we have another 10th grader, Wesley Tubbs. We spoke about him earlier. I think Tubbs for underclassmen is probably may have one of the highest ceilings on my team and around the state in 23. 6'7", long, athletic. Just kind of working on his pace right now. That's where we at with Wesley. Just working on his pace, change the pace of the game and seeing things. Once the game slows down to him, I know that'll be his aha moment, kind of like Ty to be like, okay, it done click. Once it slows down for him. And it has. It's began to slow down, but it's not where I know it needs to be just yet. Then you have Michael Mitchell. Michael is a really good ball player. He's young. He's kind of new to Northside. He was here last year as a 9th grader, but he played JV. But Mike is like my Patrick Beverly, man. He's just a hard-nosed kid, plays defense extremely hard. Offensively, I'm getting him, teaching him to run the team a little bit so I can take the ball out of G3's hands so he won't be on the ball as much. But I see a lot of upside in Mike Mitchell. He'll definitely be someone that we'll be discussing and talking about in the future. And then the last kid is Isaiah Sutherland, which, and I'm going to go on record to say it, if he works and does what he's supposed to, he'll be a pro one day. 6'9", 6'9.5", freshman, and doesn't even know what he can do yet and does a whole lot of really good things, and he has no idea that he's doing it. So this is fun to watch these kids kind of grow, and it'll be fun to watch them over the next year or two. The good thing about the team is that I only have 3 seniors. My other senior, I'm sorry, is Noel Tesfa. Noel's from Canada. He's a senior this year. He came in last year. Noel can shoot the seams off the ball. There is no ifs, ands, buts about it. He can shoot the basketball with the best of them. So I'm excited for him. He has a few opportunities in Canada for college if he wanted to go back, but he's looking to stay here in the States, so we'll figure out what's going to work out best for him.
Sounds good. That's a good roster right there, Coach.
That's my 21 roster, Ty.
And not a bad team for sure. So if one person walks into your gym, no one's ever seen your team play at all, what are they going to say about your team?
They just come in and watch them practice.
Or a game. First time they see your guys play, what are they going to say about your team?
So I don't mean to ask you another question. They see my team right now, or just my program,
your program in general.
Fighters. My boys will go fight. They go play hard. They go fight. That's what they're going to say. The Northside goes hard. They're going to go hard, and they're going to fight and compete. I can't tell you we're going to win every game. I can't tell you we're going to be great offensively. I can't tell you they're going to execute every play because they're kids. I can tell you that they're taught, to do those things. Whether they'll do it or not, I don't know, but they're going to play hard and they're going to fight and they will compete for sure.
And that's the one thing that a coach should never really have to coach is a kid playing hard.
Right.
Like you can coach other stuff, but if a kid doesn't want to work hard, like go hard all the time, man, normally those kids don't amount to a lot of anything.
And they usually are probably relieved from that particular team at some point in time.
You're right. So, how would you describe your coaching style?
I am an in-your-face coach at practice for sure. I'm tough, Ty. I call myself an acquired taste. I'm not for everyone. And I'm fine with that. Because at the end of the day, I honestly want what's best for a kid. And if I can't get out of a kid what's best, if I can't get the best out of a kid because of my coaching style, then I need to help the kid find somewhere else. I'm not trying to hurt them or have the kid digress. So I'm in your face. I'm direct. I play 0 games, Ty. 0 games, man. And but even with all that, I love to have fun. So I want my boys out there enjoying themselves, man. Even though my face is stoked and I'm frowning, like I want my boys to have a good time and have fun. Because if you're having fun playing a game, man, like you go play your best.
You are.
Fun. If you're thinking about your coach is about to yell at you or this, that, it's tough. It's tough to play that way. So I try to have.
If you're not having fun, it's hard to have confidence out there too.
There it is.
You know, if you don't have confidence, you're not going to play your best. I mean, you can have all the skill set in the world and drills and all that, but if you're not having fun and you're not confident, you're not going to be the player that you're not going to reach your potential. So,
absolutely, I agree.
My last question for you today, Coach, is what makes Northside and your teams like good every year? What's your motto? What's your mission statement that you carry from each team to the next?
So my motto is God first. That's simple. That's what we say in the huddle. That's what we say before practice, after practice. It's 1, 2, 3, God first, 4, 5, 6 nights. Like there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. We have to know our foundation, and our foundation is that God comes first before anything. And we can't do anything without him. That's what I teach. And then the motto of the mission of my team is kind of like just kill a gnat with a sledgehammer, and don't stop till you get enough. That's what we are here. That's our mission. Let's kill a gnat with a sledgehammer and don't stop until you get enough. That's what we do here in Northside, man. It's kind of simple. I got that from my college coach, my college assistant coach, actually. So that goes back 20, 30 plus years, 30 some odd years ago. So I'm holding on to it.
It's amazing what those little things can carry on from 30 years ago. 30 years ago. Teaching the same message.
Teach the same message. It don't change. It doesn't change.
And obviously the first thing you said, God's message never changes anyway. So it's all good.
Never gonna change. It's gonna stay first in everything that I do. Let me say that.
No, it's awesome that you're at a school at like Northside that you're able to spread the word and teach these kids what's most important in life. And obviously that's the main thing. It's your number one priority, and then your family, and all the rest will take care of itself. If you have those priorities right, you're living a pretty good life.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, well, Coach, man, I appreciate you coming on here. I look forward to seeing you again this weekend. And I just appreciate it, and I can't wait to watch y'all play.
Ty, this was fun, man. I'm glad you guys had me on, and I appreciate what you guys are doing for these kids and the platform you guys are giving them. So thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Coach.
All right, Ty, have a good one, brother.
You too.